this is a bit of a bittersweet after refurbishment video really of the Philips Triathlon vacuum cleaner, because yes, whilst it is now spotless, as good as it could be, and to be honest it was only really a mess because of what I've been using it for, there is sadly some bad news about this machine. Let me elaborate. Yes, hello, my vacuum cleaner chums. How are you today? Yes, the Philips Triathlon 1300, a machine from, and I can confirm this now, I've been inside of it, 1995. It is nearly 30 years old, bless it. And it sort of shows. Let me start with the wands look. Now, Philips have their own version of the pip fitting, which works quite well. They've used it on their cylinders and their uprights and on this, and if you pop this little plastic cap out, this sits on a little metal spring, hence why it's springy. God, my fingernails. However, this one was rusted away, and when I took it apart it all fell off, and yeah, I didn't put it back on. Not the worst thing in the world, they still act as decent friction fit tools, and I left it so that this one was on the bottom, you know, to go onto the tools, which there aren't really any anymore. So yeah, that's one thing. They're not rust proof inside. The wands are corrosion resistant, but all the bracketry isn't. I imagine this one only survived because it wasn't the one that was being used for washing. So yeah, there's the wands, very nice wands, parking bracket as before. Let us pop that off and take a look at the hose, which came up very nicely indeed. Tripped through the washing machine. This bit, in fact I can probably show you this bit a bit better, sort of like this, and yeah, you can see this one's starting to corrode. Come on, focus. It's not that bad yet, but yeah, this sits just in here. Look, you just slide it in and then push. Can I do it without chopping my finger off? Yeah, there we go, like that. And yeah, there is our very angled. Still don't like it, I have to say. It's okay when you're using the machine, but let's see. There is our hose. What else do we have? Well, we have the machine itself with the solution tank, now defunct, sadly, and the vacuum cleaner. In fact, there's a lot of stuff in here, so we may as well concentrate on this. And the first thing that I need to tell you, sadly, that will never work again. This is now a 2-in-1, not a 3-in-1. It is now a wet and dry vacuum cleaner, because sadly the bracketry for the washing tubing coming out of the pump snapped as I tried to take it out. Before I'd even had a go at trying to take it out, I literally moved it and it snapped. And that's it. This now is disconnected now. This now will never, unless somebody in the future, because I can't be bothered to, can find out a way to cobble it together, it will never shampoo again. Which, you'll see in a minute, isn't necessarily a bad thing. However, it's all nice and clean now. All comes apart. It's quite confusing. You take this bit off, then there's some screws, and all of this comes off, and you can see inside of it. This is where a lot of the stuff is. This is the solution piping from here down to the wash head. This is the trigger that goes on here. Somehow, I can't remember now. I can't even be bothered to have a go. But yeah, that's the other solution tube. This is the small wash head, which works very well indeed. We have our still pretty much brand new upholstery tool and crevice nozzle. Here we have the wet float, which sits there. and this red diffuser which sits in there. And a chap on the before video did ask me, do I think this is necessarily needed? And the answer, I think, is no, because I have been using it. I religiously used it when I use this for wet. We'll see that in a minute. And the problem is it sprays the whole back of here with crap, for want of a better word. That's the main reason I had to refurbish it. Rather than all the water just going straight into here, it hits this and just goes poof, and makes a mess. I cannot imagine you're going to do much harm leaving this out. If you find that water is, for want of a better word, coming in and coming straight back out into there, and you see it coming out of the back of the machine, then you probably do. But all I take away from this is that it just makes this filthy. In fact, it's still, haven't been able to get all of it out now. There's still bits here, look, I've just noticed this, look. Ugh, that's mainly why I washed it. And that's with a scrub. So yeah, I don't think this being missing is a massive issue really. And to be fair, worst case, the motor in here is just a bog standard bypass motor, wet and dry. You can pick one up for £30 on eBay should the worst happen. So there's that. Then we can take out the bag assembly, and yes, the Nilfisk bags fit this an absolute treat that they even clip in to the bag holder. How fantastic is that? I'm assuming they will filter. I don't actually know. This machine doesn't have that great filtration. I was checking the box and literally that, and let's not forget this is an upgrade. It should have this pile of rubbish on it. This Athena bag, which is probably just going to fall apart. It's, yeah, that's that. Then, this is only here to stop, where are we? Yeah, there. That's only there to stop, you know, big chunky stuff going through. And then if we put it on by clipping the front in and then pushing down and snapping the clips, this post motor pad is it. If you have a broken bag, this poor little micro filter by AFS, no less, whoever the heck they are, is it. It's, oh, bless it, it's just so laughably, it tries. I do love it. It is different. It's different. What else do we have? Yes, we have the bag. We have the paperwork, because this thing was pretty new. In fact, all it was missing was the dry head, if we remember. So, I do not want this, really. I gave it a refurb and I actually nicked its back rubber for, oh, what did I pinch that for? Something else, anyway. So, yeah, it sort of only a bit works and will just do for getting stuff off. A Vax 2000 rear squeegee blade. That is what I used it for. But the big issue is this. Now, looks very yellowed, doesn't it? I'm sure it wasn't that yellowed when I put it into storage, and it's just been hot, really. It's not been in the sun, it's been in the cupboard, but I cannot say it won't have got quite hot in that cupboard because it's at the front of my house. And let me just quickly tell you how that happened. I'll play a clip of a video that I was filming with this when the Vax 6130 SX, the pump doesn't work on it. You probably haven't seen that video yet, because by the time I'm filming this, I haven't bought it a new pump. It doesn't work. So I thought, oh, we'll get the Triathlon out. I wanted to clean a rug. And yeah, let me show you how that went. Then with our very hot tap water installed, we can take our Vax solution that I went out and bought especially to test with my Vax 6130 SX. Now, it's a 4 litre, crikey that's got heavier. It's a 4 litre tank and we need 20 ml per 4 litres. So there's one shot. Yeah. I'm going to spare it. This cost me a tenner in the local shop because I didn't think to order any online. Although I don't think that's actually too bad. 3, 4 and half for luck. There we go. Then we can put the lid back on so I don't kick it over in a minute. Pop it all up there. Then we can take the last piece of the puzzle, which is this link tube, which is a little bit broken sadly, but it should be okay because it'll be sucking it rather than blowing it. We shall find out that yes, our Philips Triathlon 1300 is set up for shampooing. Yeah, I did break the pump on the Vax, it turns out. And you notice we didn't actually look at it during the after video of the Vax, and yeah, turns out it's making pumpy noises but isn't pumpy, and that's beyond my expertise. And this is the only other machine I have in the house that will deliver water. Luckily it is pumped, and yeah, I do want to get this done, so I have just spent, well, I spent half an hour with the Vax, no, probably an hour more likely, because to test it you've got to put it back together. We did that 4 times, that was fun. And then yeah, then I have to find all of this and all the missing parts for this, but we are done. So I'm going to go find some electricity, set up, and we will shampoo this piece of scrap carpet that my mum found in the shed of the bungalow they bought. Fab. Right, so I'll position this somewhere else, out of the way, but still within camera shot. There we go. See if this explodes. If I may as well just stay here. This is okay. Yeah, it's not actually a bad shout to get the Philips Triathlon out. It's very popular with a lot of people. The before video of it, haven't touched it since, so it's still utterly filthy. Are you gonna work? Powerful. Oh, well, hasn't this just turned into a bad day, look? Okay. Oh, no. Oh, stop it. Well, it's almost not too surprising considering how yellow this is, and this hasn't been in the loft, but, well, that is very, very terrible, really, and, well, it's put me off the whole thing a little bit, but it's out. And I do want to get this clean, so it wasn't doing particularly well, although better that it will work now. I'm going to give this all a go with the small upholstery tool and see if that does any better. So I glued it back together just so that all the parts were there, but again, even if somebody did want to use it, it doesn't pump water anymore. So, oh dear, not fantastic. So all we are really left with, if we get rid of that, we want that, get rid of all of this, is a very nice, massive, wet and dry vacuum cleaner. And we can clip the hose up, we can connect some wands up to it, like so, and we'll do some vacuuming. With our Vitronics floor head on our massive, I mean look, this is like 2 floor heads wide. We can use possibly the world's most impractical dry vac, which it works very well at. I cannot lie, this floor isn't particularly dirty, so we don't need to worry too much about having to show it. But the suction really isn't fast, and the problem is I don't quite know. Turn that off. I don't quite know where it's leaking from. Well, I do, but there's not a lot I can do about it. I think it's coming from this rope seal all around here. Because if we turn it on, that is okay. And the whole thing just clog up. So from sort of this part, it's okay. Yeah. The main problem is, and I might have a quick go at fitting it somewhere else. Come out, because you may as well come out anyway, because you don't work very well. Is this rubber seal, which is supposed to, sit on here, all around the outside, but from inside of here, and it's just not working very well, really. I think all of the air is being lost from here, and I didn't even mean to take the flipping thing off. I was going to happily leave it in until it fell out when I was washing it, so it had to come out. And yeah, despite being pushed in as well as I can do it, as soon as we pop it back on to the bin by sticking it in the front and then pushing it down. It might be better now. It's certainly sitting the same as it did. Now, all the air is escaping from somewhere until you do that and it swishes. And now it's okay. And that's a bit of an issue, really. The problem is, and I'll try and put some photographs up, there's a missing seal, I possibly think, or the motor needs to be pushed down more. I don't really know. And I'm almost not too cared about caring, really, because, I was going to sell it as a car back, to tell you the truth. I was just going to get rid of it, sell it as a car back. But with something like this, I mean, it's there, but I mean, it won't even hold my phone. Will it pick up this tissue? No. And that's probably sat in the hose now. Yeah. Something isn't right. And to be quite honest, I just don't care to fix it. I'm showing you the after for the courtesy of the fact that you've seen the before. And mainly to tell you that unfortunately this thing just fell apart and now it isn't worth fixing, because I can have the motor out and have another very nice 1300 watt bypass motor, since I now don't have a spare because I popped it in my Aquavac 620. Bar that, I mean, these tools and the wands certainly are possibly quite good going to somebody with another Philips, because they've got the pip stuff on there. And then the rest of it, I cannot lie, it's probably bin fodder, because I can't really do much else with it. And nobody's going to want it as a project, not with, barely enough. It's sort of, look, it's not even, that's 1300 watts. That's just tragic, really. But if you push down, it's okay. But I think it just doesn't want to live. I'm afraid Mr. James very kindly gave it to me. It's called these ones excellent, which is a bit pointless, really. I mean, the cable's okay. I think, unfortunately, Mr. James gave it to me with the best of intentions, but it's just no good, really. Unless, I mean, I might have another crack at taking it apart, but quite honestly, it'll still be broken. Is there much point? Whereas I can put the Vitronics floor tool away somewhere else, have a box to post stuff off in. All of this can just go in the bin, because as rare as it is a clunky, not very nice looking thing. I mean, probably fine for massive areas. I mean, a lot of the people who commented in the before video in Italy, I think, and obviously, massive expanse of flooring in their homes. Don't really have that in the UK, and yeah, it's not even going to be a good wet dry vac now because it hasn't got any suction to suck itself out. So yeah, unfortunately this is probably the last you're going to see of the Philips Triathlon. As nice as it is, it's just, I can't do much more with it, and it's no point selling it because I don't really want any money for it. By the time, I don't want to keep it until this video goes out in case one of you wants to buy it, because posting it is going to cost a bit of money as well. So no, I think unfortunately it's just fit for spares really. The hose, in fact, when does the hose will fit other push fit stuff? Grabbed my Aquavac Bulldog out, which is still very much as you saw it in the before video, and you know what, it does fit that, so there is at least something. And more powerful. I forgot how loose and broken the switch was. Yeah, it comes to something when a completely trashed, you know, skip fodder Aquavac Bulldog is better than a fully refurbished project. When that happens, you know it's just time to cut your losses, have a little cry, and yeah, try and just not throw too much away. So yeah, I shall be offering up at least these, as you know, if you have a Philips vacuum that could do with some new Philipsy tools, that won't want to go because that is bespoke to that. I think that's all I can do, I'm afraid. So another failure. I'm very sorry. I did try, but say as soon as that bit for the pump went, that was it. I mean, even if the shampoo tool had gone, it still worked with the little one, but definitely not now. Probably should have left it the heck alone, really. I am a little bit bitter about it, which is why I'm showing you a failure which I can only take 100% of the blame. Sadly, it happens. That's just all you can do. So thank you very much for watching. I'm afraid this Philips is not long for this world, I think. And I, but not this, will see you soon, and hopefully I won't break anything else that's, I'm going to say rare, because it is, but it's that sort of rare that nobody really wants it. I'm not having it sat around massive, I could live in it. I'm not having it taking up space in my house when I've got other projects that aren't broken that we can do something with. So I'm very sorry. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you soon. Bye bye.